Can you teach us objective 96?
Can you teach us objective number 96?
Slow down.
It kind of confuses me.
Okay. It's gonna. So
That's not
hopefully by the time we're done, you got the hang of it and you want to do an exercise over it.
Why
95 was a
can't-
piece of cake. So like 90, we go from 95 to 96. This is not a piece of cake. This is different.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying this.
This is
before.
brownies.
We got 96, 97, 98. I think we'll probably only get to do 2 this week because of the snow day. We'll have to do 1 on Monday. But I would have liked to do them all together because they're related. But.
No.
All right, here we go, 96.
Well, then we can just hold off till next week.
Determine the length of a side or measure of an angle in similar triangles. This word is new. Similar. What on earth is similar? We've been doing congruent, and now we're going to do something different. We already know what it means to be congruent. What is that?
To be exactly the same.
Basically, 2 triangles that are exactly the same. The way I think about congruent when we talk about these shapes is like they came from the same cookie cutter. Like for some reason, you had geometric shaped cookie cutters and you made triangles. And you're like, boom, this cookie and that cookie are the same triangle. So if you took one of them, you'd set it on top of the other and they match up. Their angles match up, their sides match up. That's what congruent is. Similar is different. Now similar's symbol, instead of like the squiggly with the equals, similar's symbol is just the squiggly. That means similar. Well, what's similar mean? What similar means is we got 2 triangles that look the same, but one is like either bigger or smaller than the other one. So it's like you took a triangle and then we blew it up. That's what similar is. But they look like identically the same, like just one is like the bigger brother of the other one. Now there's 2 types of problems for similar that you're going to have to work with. We're going to have to try to find sides among similar triangles, which sides are going to be bigger because it's a bigger triangle, bigger sides. But the good part is that when it comes to angles, the angles stay the same. So as you blow up a shape, the angles are the same. The sides get bigger or smaller, but the angles will be congruent. So similar triangles, angles are still congruent. Makes the problem just like things we've already been doing. So first one right here, this is an angles problem. So we get started off with the easy one. Remember this, half of them are angles, half of them are sides. Be glad when you get angles. Here we go. MNO is similar to JKL. They are not the same size. One is like a little bigger than the other. If the measure of O is 2x and the measure of angle L is 6x minus 68, what's the measure of angle L? All right, 2x is going right here. There's O. O is 2x. L is 6x minus 68. Now the question I ask myself first is, do O and L go together? Do they match up? Do they correspond? Here's O.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now what did I just say about the angles in similar triangles?
The angles stay the same.
The angles, yeah, the angles will still be congruent. So you got this O and this L, they're supposed to be congruent, so what do?
Equal to each other.
That's it. There's your equation. That's why the angles one's not so bad. We just say, okay, just because they're similar but the angles are still the same, so 2x is 6x minus 68. There's your equation. And down here it says, since O and L are supposed to be congruent, we just set the 2 different algebra pieces equal to each other and solve it. All right, minus 6x. Looks like you got negative 4x is negative 68. When you divide,
17.
looks like x will be 17. X equals 17. Now we don't want 17. We want to find L. So you have to go 6 times 17 minus 68. So to find what L is, you got to go 6 times 17 minus 68.
Well, and then minus 16.
And I get 34. That's how we do it. 6 times 17 minus 68 gets you 34. All right, so how do you feel about that?
Pretty good.
Okay. Similar triangles, it's a total different concept, but angles are just, let's match up one with the other. Let's call it good. All right, I'm gonna make this shot. Here's what happened earlier today. I shot 4 pieces of paper at that trash can and I missed all 4 of them, but I made the 5th shot.
I believe in you.
Okay, this is my 6th shot. I've got to make a few in a row to get my
I
percentage.
don't
Yeah,
think you
what about
got
the rest
this
of
one.
class?
Don't,
that
no
needs
belief?
that?
What?
What about the rest of the class that needs that?
This paper?
Oh, YouTube.
That's what they're gonna ask you. They're gonna go to YouTube and watch it tomorrow.
Oh.
Okay.
Got you.
Who says I'm gonna make it?
Me?
Tori said yeah.
Nolan
Nolan said
says
Do
no.
I get extra
I don't
credit?
think so.
if I say
No, I gotta make it.
Do we? What do we get if we are right?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
Do we
not
get an
section
objective?
of knowing that you predicted the future.
If you know, you will work with
Wait,
you.
we
We're
gotta
part
see
of the
it. There's-
Illuminati.
Okay, so we gotta rotate.
No, I don't wanna
Oh, and you got a duck
I
out
was
of the way.
like, duck.
Okay.
see. You're in the way now.
So we've got a game. This one's
No
going.
buckets.
Are you
Okay.
even? Are you
Click it
even?
in.
Okay.
Boom. Boom. Okay, that makes 2 out of 6. 2 in a row though. I'm on a streak now.
Wow, your percentage is horrible.
I went from 0 to 20.
33%.
Now I'm 33.
Hey, that's bad.
I'm making the next one too. I got one more today.
You think you are?
Oh, I know. I'm on a streak now.
But
Yeah.
you're too close.
Oh, we're not on this problem. We're on this
Like,
video.
ended up anywhere?
Hey.
Backside. Here we go.
Hey, we didn't read this.
We're on the. Yeah, we're up here. We're up here.
Did you read it? I didn't even see that.
Okay, that was angles. Here we go to sides. Side. This is where it gets tough, and we introduced this word called proportional, which is not pretty. All right, when dealing with sides, sides are a little different, and they're a little more difficult to work out because the sides aren't going to be congruent. Obviously, one triangle is bigger than the other, so it would be dumb to say that they're the same length. One is obviously longer than the other if you took a ruler and measured. So sides and similar triangles are not congruent. That's the whole point. If they were congruent, they would be congruent triangles. They're proportional. You've heard this word. You've dealt with this in middle school. You've slept since then. You've probably forgotten all about it. This is why it's going to be a little difficult. Proportional means we're going to set up a ratio. Ratio means we're basically going to make a fraction. One thing over the other. So follow through. This is definitely different. Definitely different. We're going to have to set up a proportion. That's why I guess I said yikes. Here we go.
Yikes.
I mean, I remember when I was in middle school, I hated proportions. It was always,
Middle school.
yeah, this is where you learn about proportions. Middle school. And then when you get into high school, then you're like, what? Proportions?
I thought you were saying like this is.
No, you're supposed to first learn about it in middle school, but then you forget by the time you
I
get
feel
up
like
there.
we didn't learn.
Oh, you
Wait,
did.
is that?
I'm gonna go ask my cues. I've been seeing him a lot lately.
Okay, here's our triangles. Now, understand, we're dealing with sides now, not angles. So look at the picture. Look at this way. Eyes this way. All right, here's what you've got. You've got KL is this algebra junk right here. 10.5 minus x. You got KJ is 2. Down here you got VW, it's 20, and you got XW is 36.8 plus x. All right, here's how you make a proportion. We're gonna make 2 different fractions. And if you don't get it, you don't understand proportion, follow along that you're gonna make a proportion whether you like it or not on this note. All right, KJ, or not K, yeah, KJ is 2. What side does it go with over there?
VW.
VW.
20. There's your first proportion, 2 over 20. That's the first fraction to make, 2 over 20. The 2 goes with the 20. You make it like that. So there's our one fraction. Now we're going to look at LK, or KL, LK or KL, and it goes with what?
XW.
And if you ever aren't sure, you go, okay, KL goes with WX or XW.
So it's 10.5 minus x over 36.8 plus x.
Ooh, I like that color.
So there's our other proportion. You're going to say 10.5, this is the ugly one, 10.5 minus x over 36.8 plus x. All right, do we get the 2 fractions we just made?
Yeah.
You go this one over this one over this one. Now on a
So,
proportion, we're going to take these 2 fractions and set them equal to each other. And that's going to be our
Will it matter
proportion.
which one's on top or?
Yeah. Well, is it the left one that'll always be on top? Or?
I would just, you're going to have, if you go this one over this one, you got to go this one over this one. You got to keep the order.
Okay.
So don't go this one over this one over this one.
Okay.
Say, this will be my first one, this will be my second one. This on top, that on bottom. Now you set these 2 things equal. So we're going to say 2 over 20 equals 10.5 minus x of 36.8 plus x. And I'll stop right there for a second. Yeah, oh yeah. The question is, do we have any questions of how we got there?
No.
We made the one proportion. We made the second proportion and you set them equal. That's what making a proportion is all about. Now, solving this takes us back to another thing that you probably heard a long time ago, which is called cross multiply.
Oh, man.
I know, sounds awful, but watch,
Wait,
this
how do you do
is
that?
this is how cross multiply works, right? To solve cross multiply. Cross multiply means take the denominator up here and take this denominator up here. That's like we're crossing. We're taking these up here. So this first one is going to be 2 times all that stuff in a parenthesis. 36.8 plus x. The other one is going to be 20 times the other stuff in a parenthesis. So that's what cross multiply means. Make your proportion and then cross multiply. Bring this up here, bring this over there. So 2 times that stuff, 20 times that stuff. And now we don't have denominators. You're going to work this out like a kind of semi-difficult Algebra 1 problem where you have to distribute first. So somebody with a calculator, help me out with this. I got to distribute over here. What is 2 times
73.6.
36 minutes? So 73 points. What? 73.6 plus 2x equals then 20 times 10.5, 210 minus 20x. All right, there's after distributing. That's what you got. Now it's about, let's get our x's together, then I get our y's together. Do you want to move the 2? Do you want to move the 20?
Move the 2.
We move the 2, so minus 2 on both sides. Minus 2x on both sides. You got 73.6 equals 210 minus 22x. Negative 20 minus 2 is negative 22. It's minus 210 on both sides. Minus 210 on both sides. There's a lot of work going on right here. 73.6 minus 210. You don't have to calculate that one for me.
Negative 136.4.
Negative 136.4. And I'm kind of out of space, but what's the last thing I'm going to do?
Divide.
I'm going to divide both sides by negative 22. And what do we get? 6.2? Yeah. So divide both by negative 22, and x is 6.2. Careful! Look at what we're asked though. The question is, when I said this earlier, I said, x is 6.2, are we done? And some people just, yeah, we're done. You see 6.2 as answer A?
No, you gotta fill it in.
Yeah. If you do that, they put it as A to make sure that you know how to follow instructions. People who don't follow instructions will put A and get it wrong. What do we really want?
2.5.
You want KL.
Okay, or whatever.
Where's KL?
Up at the top, right there.
Right there. So you really got to go 10.5
minus
6.2. What do we get?
4.3.
4.3. That's the answer you want. 6.2 is X. It would be awful, in my opinion, for you to do all this right here. All that work. You set up that proportion, you cross multiply, you distribute, you get your x's together, you divide the coefficient, you get 6.2, and you get the problem wrong because you just didn't do this part. So make sure before you go circling 6.2, go, wait, is it x I want? Or am I supposed to find something else? So don't waste your time. Make sure that you check.
Normally, though, I think whenever it's looking for x, it normally says x equals so-and-so.
Yeah, like a lot of times it will. Sometimes it won't though, but a lot of times it will say
Yeah.
x equals x equals. Okay, so here's number 7.
I believe in you.
Okay, who says it's going in? I've made 2 in a row.
I don't
Made 2 in a row.
No.
Here we go.
6.
All right, who says it's going in?
Me, again.
Just Tori is the only one. And who says it's not? Who
You're
says
too
I'm missing?
close.
I'm too.
Why don't you back up some?
Really? You wanna?
I can probably make it from right here. I can probably make it from right here.
Easy now, Nolan.
I'll let Nolan shoot the last one. If I make this one, I gotta keep going.
No!
I have a hard enough time.
Okay.
Come on, this is going for 3 in a row.
Okay. Okay. You keep leaning forward. Keep leaning forward.
3 out of 7.
You're cheating.
That was
Three out of
just me.
7.
Can't be